Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Henny Nice Podcast. As always, I'm your host, your brother Jay White, coming to you live from the crib. First things first, Henny Nice merch. Click the notes of the podcast. The link will be right there. It's a link string link. Take you right to the merch store. You can get your crew necks, your tees, whatever else I got on there. It's all up for sale. No more shipping issues. Everybody getting their stuff on time finally. So make sure you tap in with that. Lock in with that. I always appreciate the support, of course. And then rule number 2, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast and rate the podcast wherever you're listening to this at. Share it with your friends, share it with your people. It helps with the visibility of the show. And I really, really appreciate it because I'll be talking that shit. Now, after having to do this intro a second damn time, I got the homie on the podcast. You know, the richest motherfucker I know.
There you go with these lies.
Sitting in the penthouse right now. Right now. Sipping the finest wine. Having a damn good time. The one and only Randy. She's in the building.
What's up, y'all? What's up, man? Don't listen to his lies. Y'all know James stay lying on my top. And I don't really understand what kind of friend would do that. Like, why would you lie to these people like that?
Why? Ain't nothing to lie about. Being free, you're being rich too, ain't you? Yeah. Yeah, getting that bag. You feel me? Man. But nah, I got the homie Randy on the podcast. I'm also coming back from a little break because life be lifing. It's been a couple of weeks, been a wild couple of weeks, but you know, once I get the mental right and I have some shit to talk about, I always come back. So I appreciate everybody who continues to lock in with me. But wanted to bring Randy on because we're gonna get to, like, you know, the silly typical Henny night shit later. But I'm always an advocate of mental health. It is Mental Health Awareness a month right now. And so I wanted you to talk about your journey because as somebody who's kind of been around for a while now, of course, let me say this. I'm super proud of you for the changes you have made. You made a lot of them. I have noticed them, you know, just the way you moving and how you speak things into the universe and everything like that. So I want to give you your flowers on that. But I wanted to, you know, share this space with you, you know, to talk about that journey and what that has looked like for you because you put in a lot of work. So I wanted you to share that. So
I have, man. I have. Don't make me shed, you know, thug tears over here. But thank you. For real. Shit. Where do I even start? I got to a point where I really just got tired of my shit.
That's real.
Just got tired of the way I was moving. I got tired of the relationships that I kept being in. I got tired of just, you know, the people that kept, you know, that I seemed to keep attracting, whether it be quote unquote friends, situationships, relationships, just whatever. I got fucking tired of everything around me, and I knew that, you know, I'm what creates that, you know. So I was like, okay, I gotta start somewhere. Where I was like, well, you know, let me unpack some shit. So crazy thing. So my first thought to even start going to therapy was actually in 2017. I got laid off, and the employer that I was with, they were like, hey, you know, we'll give y'all 3 months of, you know, just of counseling, like, for the free. And I was like, well, shit, let me take advantage of this. So I started going because I was like, all right, let's unpack these daddy issues because me and these niggas, it's just, I'm sick of this shit. I am sick of this shit. And I was like, but you know, I know it's rooted in like some deeper stuff, like the type of men that I kept dealing with. I was like, baby girl. So I started, dipped my toes into that in 2017. And then I kind of was like, actually, I'm really not ready to stop being a piece of shit. So we'll come back to this later, turn up. And I went back to what was comfortable. Not like, like dead ass. Little while later, I honestly don't remember exactly what year it was. You know what? Yeah, I do. So fast forward. So that was 2017. So fast forward to 2018. I met this man, and I was head over heels for this man in a very short period of time. But not too much. I don't want to give him too much because he's a literal piece of shit. But I remember talking to one of my friends about how this man made me feel, because it was the first time in my life that anybody had made me feel the way he felt prior to our falling out. We had no issues. And she was telling me, she was like, Randy, that man not doing nothing he ain't supposed to do. Like, that ain't nothing for you to like be throwing confetti over. And I was like, but I ain't never had this. She was like, well, therein lies the fucking problem, sweetheart. Because
real
the
shit.
things that he's doing, it ain't that extravagant. But for me, it was, because I was like, damn, what the fuck have I been accepting? But then I thought about it. That friend was also somebody who had grew up with her father in her life, loved on her, doted on her. I ain't had it. I ain't never had no man in my life telling me this is how you should and shouldn't be treated. Never had that. Yeah, my mama got remarried, but me and my stepdad, no shade towards him, nothing whatsoever. We just have never had that father-daughter relationship. So even though, there was at some point a man came into my life, on a consistent basis, he still never taught me, like, nah, like I had never had that. So anyway, this situation falls, to the wayside or whatever. And I was like, all right, you got a taste of what it should be like. Okay. So that set the standard for me for the bare minimum. If you're not getting at least these things, don't give it nothing, because you got to teach people how to treat you. And my first thought was, you got to treat these men how to treat you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept that in the back of my head, kept going on, continued to dip my foot back in a pond, in the high school sweetheart pond. Don't ask me why I was being that fucking stupid at this big age. Don't ask me no kind of questions, okay? But It was familiar and it was comfortable. So I would get out here and I would try, I would date around, meet somebody new, but I would go back to what was familiar and comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Until it got to a point where I was like, hey, I don't really like you unless we're having sex. And that was very, very honest. I did not like that man unless he was scoring my brains out. So then I was like, all right, Randy, it's time to dig deeper. Like, do you, like, for real, what you finna do about this? So I was like, okay, why do you think that this is what you deserve? Why do you think that you don't deserve better? And I started like really getting into that. The pandemic helped me a lot because, when the pandemic first hit, mine was really like inside.
Yeah.
And it forced me to really just unpack all my shit, sit in it, wallow in it, and then have to decide what the fuck I was going to do about it. And it was during the pandemic where I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. I was, I'm an only child. So I grew up my mom spoiled the shit out of me. Will not deny that at all. But I had to get out of that too. It was like, so on, one hand it's like, hey, you gotta put your foot down with the men that you're dealing with. But also, you gotta stop being such a fucking brat when it comes to your friendships and your relationships. Like, it's not the fucking Randy show. So again, like I said, I got tired of my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And started going, to therapy like consistently. And we started like unpacking like, the daddy issues, how being abandoned, actually made me feel, because that is literally what happened. Like, my parents split when I was 6. I saw that man when I was 7, and then he left and went and had like started a whole nother family. And in my little, child mind, I'm like, oh, this nigga just don't give a fuck about me anymore. Fast forward to 2022, I actually popped up on him and had a face-to-face conversation and found out a lot of the reasons that kept him away. One of those was addiction. I had never known that, because that is not something that drug addiction, that is not something that me and my mom saw in the house when he was with us. That is something that came into his life after he left us. Okay. So had that conversation. Got, started being honest with people who, I really, really cared about, hey, I don't like the way I don't like how you're moving. I don't like how it's making me feel. Can you help me understand, like, if this is just in my head, like, am I tripping? Like, getting better with my communication, when it can, in my friendships, getting better about, what I would and would not tolerate. And that one really fucked a lot of people up. I'm not gonna say a lot, but it fucked a few people up, because I've never been the type of person who stood up for myself, because I care so much about my people that I never wanted my people mad at me. Right. But I spent so many years sitting in that I was not speaking up for how things were making me feel. So, that therapy also, got me to that point where it's like, hey, speak up for yourself. Because also what I was doing was I was moving very passive aggressively. So somebody would do something to hurt my feelings or piss me off, and I wouldn't speak up, and I wouldn't say, hey, XYZ hurt me, or why did, I wouldn't have those conversations. I was like, well, Randy, that's shitty, because if somebody did that to you, you would be in your chest about it. Right. 100%. I would be. Because why you acting weird? What's wrong with you? So again, I got tired of my own shit and started having conversations. Started putting, my foot down, and it was like, hey, you don't get to treat me like this no more. I don't care how long you've been around. I don't care if you've been around 5, 10, 15, 20 fucking years. You don't get to treat me like this no more. I don't want to do it no more. So either you're not going to change and we're going to have to go, our separate ways, or you love me and you care enough about me to be like, I hear you. I understand. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm just, I'm trying. Y'all know I'm an emo asshole. I don't know. I don't know why y'all do these things to me. But yeah, I got quiet. A lot of people don't talk to me anymore. I don't talk to a lot of people, like, and it's not because of beef. My discernment is so much, like, I have discernment now. I don't even think I had discernment like before I started getting serious about getting shit together. But I'm really, really, really selective and protective of my energy and my space. And I don't think that everybody is worthy of that. I don't really care how that comes off. I feel like you have to be like that. Because otherwise I feel like you leave yourself open to a lot of bullshit. Right. But yeah, it's been a journey. It's still a journey. I am still learning and unlearning. I am still healing. My dad lost his battle with addiction back in March. So, that hit hard. I feel like we knew it was coming eventually. Like, when somebody is that heavy on drugs, their body just starts shutting down. one
Mm-hmm.
system at a time, and that's essentially what that was. But it doesn't take that hurt away, because I was a daddy's girl,
I about to
and
say
it's
that's still your
crazy.
dad.
Yeah, and I was a daddy's girl before, like, my parents separated, which is crazy how our relationship ended up. But so it's just, I had to I want to be a wife one day. I want to be a mother. Those are not my ultimate life goals, but they are definitely things that I want. And one thing that I continue to tell myself is that my future husband or my future child, or children, they don't deserve an unhealed Randy. They don't
That's real.
deserve
That's real.
anything that came before them and all that baggage, and just, they don't deserve that. And that's what really pushed me to, like, get shit together before either of those things come into my life.
No, that's real. I think a lot of our peers, for the most part, are doing a great job of wanting to get through the necessary issues that we faced growing up, and that kind of shaped us and helped us to develop bad habits, and realizing as we get older and navigating the different relationships and friendships we have, we are definitely trying to, taking a step back and looking at ourselves and being like, you know what, I don't really like this about me. Let me go ahead and try to change that. And in your instance, and also mine too, a lot of our peers have kids or want to have kids, or, are married, or in these serious relationships, and your partner, nobody's saying you're going to be 100% on every single day. It's just not, it's never going to happen. Those people who try to be like that, those are the insane motherfuckers to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, some
Perfection is not
days,
human.
yeah, facts. And you're not going to be on every day. You're not going to have it every day. But it's just super important to have, and we speaking outside of just romantic relationships. It's important to have just people in your corner that's like, like, I see you trying, I see you making this change. We support what it is that you're doing and trying to better yourself and be better to us as friends and stuff like that. So, there, that grace there goes a long way. And it's like I said, I wanted to acknowledge the fact that, like, I've been peeping and I'm like, okay, look at her doing the work.
I
Look at
appreciate
her
it.
making the changes or whatever. So
Because it's not easy. It's not
it's not
easy.
easy
I
at
tell
all.
people all the time, I am never going to lie to anybody who watches. Because I decided that I was going to share bits and pieces of the journey. And
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I reiterate over and over again, this shit is not easy. Like, I am on a brighter side, but when I first started and I had to get deep in my shit, it was lonely and it was
Mm-hmm.
fucking draining,
Yeah.
because I was purging a lot of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy at all. And even still, I am kind of on the edge of my seat about, hey, I saw a tweet the other day and it was pretty much saying that, you do all this work to heal, and there are parts of you that you can't heal on your own. Like, for instance, like in love. I can't even tell you the last time I was fucking in love. I'm honestly may not have ever truly been in love, because I feel like to be in love, that shit has to be reciprocated. And I don't feel like anybody I've ever been with has loved me the way that I love them. Could be
Mm.
wrong, but that's just how I feel.
I'm
But
I
so
mean,
I'm
also with that though, like you said, you have to, like, people don't like to say this shit, but like, you have to teach a motherfucker how to treat you. Like,
absolutely.
but on the flip side of that, the person you are dealing with has to want to treat you like that.
It's
So
also true.
it's a give and take. So while you know you're very, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, you're accurate in that. That's your life. Nobody can tell you if you were loved or not or whatever. It just, yeah, everybody loves differently.
And I
And
might have
you
also
have to
been confused about what love
yeah,
was. Like, because when
facts.
you don't love yourself, and it took me a while to get to like truly love myself, you know, what love is to you is kind of, yeah, but no, but I think that some things, you know, I do feel like I might be triggered, you know, the next time I am in a relationship, because it's gonna be like, hey, bitch, now is the time to put all that you learned to work, and what you gonna do about it. And there's nothing wrong with being triggered. It's how you respond to your triggers. So I'm like, okay, but I'm ready, like, cause like I've been doing the work. So it's like studying for a test. Like, there's no point in studying if you never gonna put that knowledge, like what you learn, to work, whether it be, you know, on the job or on a test or, you know, whatever. So yeah, I definitely believe that some things you don't heal through on your own. You don't really, you know, love can heal you through some things. Or, you know, friendships. There might be, you know, parts of my friendships that, hey, I haven't, you know, haven't been, you know, met yet or haven't been addressed yet or whatever. And be like, oh, that's how you work that out. Okay, cool. Never had to do
Yeah,
that before.
facts. It's a live and learn situation for sure. But like at your age, at this version of you though, like the love that you want at this stage is going to be completely different than the early 30s, late 20s, of course the mid 20s version of yourself wanted. It should be that way though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And
you live and
now
you
that I
learn,
think
you go
about it,
through
I ain't
different
gonna say I
things.
ain't never been in love, because I was like, it was definitely
It
some
just
tough
looked different.
love, and
Yeah, it looks
it does completely look different. I guess so. What I should say now is the love that has worked for me before will not work for
there
the
you go.
Randy I am today. So
There you
yeah,
go.
that's better. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say I
That
ain't never.
that makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes more sense for sure. It, like I said, it's supposed to be that way because I will be scratching my head and be like, "The fuck you doing?" If you on some shit, you know,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
at 25 and you're, literally 10 years later and you like, I still want that type shit. I'm like, okay, we needs to dig deeper. But yeah, so I wanted to give you your flowers on that. And so, now that I've done that, I just gotta ask you, why you like niggas with ashy ankles?
I knew the bullshit was coming. I knew it was coming.
Why you
First of
like niggas with
all,
ashy ankles? Why
I
niggas
don't
don't be
deal with
moisturized out here, huh?
I don't deal with niggas with ashy ankles. Maybe in a former life, but
It's so
currently,
it's so crazy to me when you posted that shit and you was like, yeah, niggas don't be moisturizing out here. And I'll be like, I was sitting there like, what?
that's not what
Like
I said though. Why
nigga
you
or
twisting my
whatever, or
words?
niggas be ashy.
No, what I said was I
On
wanted to know why men, like, so when men touch your skin and they be like, damn, your skin soft. I'm trying to figure out what type of women y'all be dealing with that soft skin is abnormal to you. Like, I feel like everybody's supposed to have soft skin, because at this big age, why are you not moisturizing?
hey, well, it
Like
be
I
a
know
struggle
my
out
skin is
here.
soft.
It could be a struggle out here. Some of the, the light skinned sisters, they be a little with it, so you got to dig through a little bit of the to get to the softness
I'm
of
not
the
gonna tell
skin.
you what that sounded like, but I'm gonna need you to not do that no more. Hey man, chill out.
Yeah, man, you got to dig, and
You're
some of the.
disgusting.
I'm just saying it may be a little prickly. You feel me? So
I ain't
hey,
got
sometimes it be like that, and then sometimes on some of our us darker people, you know what I'm saying? You can play tic tac toe with the ash on our bodies. It be like that sometimes.
I need to. Okay, so here's a PSA
Not for me though. Not for fucking me though. Let me put that out there.
for anybody listening. You know, when you get out of the shower or tub or whatever, you know, when your skin, like before you even dry all the way off, it is best to put like your body oil or your body butter on then, because your skin can easier absorb it. I mean, you can still put some on when you dry off, but it's just better when your skin is damp.
Put on that honey beauty and do a body roll on these bitches.
I'm just saying, like, it's too many. Everybody always talk about supporting Black-owned businesses. It's way too many Black-owned businesses out here that sell body butters and body oils and all that shit. Y'all to be man or woman, or non.
And it's so crazy because as much as it's so crazy because as much as niggas be talking about using women's products like when they in the shower, in the bathroom and shit, you would think that's not an issue no more. You feel me? So,
here's what TikTok has taught me. Now, I don't know about your listeners, but a lot of these heifers on TikTok, I feel like they still real young in the head, because these bitches be having all the shit that smell good but don't offer no moisture.
Yeah.
And that's probably where the problem is. Like,
I mean, but it be the dudes too. Like, you can't you can't just use regular Old Spice. You got to use like the upper echelon of the Old Spice shit. Like, you can't just use the blue body wash shit. Like, nah, bro, you got to like go through the section of the body wash and actually look at what's in there, what each ingredient does, and what it's supposed to do for your body and stuff like that. Like, read,
like, grow up.
Like, read. You can't be using Axe body wash out here and shit like that, like you in high school and trying to cover up the must after PE and shit. Like, we off that. You know, you
can't take the cheap route when it comes to your toiletries. Like,
you really can't. You really can't.
Everything is fucking high now, but you cannot take the cheap route. We are grown, and then y'all be wanting to be outside in that day parties all day. Do you think that smell gonna stick with you all day? You stink and you ashy. Go home, Roger. Go home.
Nah, dead ass. Like, you slap, like you said, you get out the shower, you know, wash your fucking legs, you wash your body, you wash your ass, and not just the surface. Like, nah, my nigga, get in the crevices. You feel me? Wash your ass, because you know.
Now some of them think it's gay to spread their ass cheeks open and scrub. And I think that's fucking wild. Let me tell you, God bless the day that any man ever come into my presence and tell me that he think it's gay to wash his ass. Baby, ain't nobody gonna be able to save you but God. If he come down and touch you, like, and lift you up out of there, don't do that.
I mean, it's gonna be a tell if you decide to ever, like, I'm gonna be nice and like do some laundry, and then you see what happened when you don't wash your ass. Like, bro, that's like, I don't see how niggas don't be embarrassed, bro, because there's just no way. There's no
I don't understand. Way. I'm not sparing you. You're a fully grown adult. There's no reason you should ever in your life have shit stains in your drawers. I think it was, I don't remember what social media site it was on a while ago, but this girl was talking about this man had like left a doo-doo stream on her white leather couch when he got up. Baby, let me tell you, I'm talking about you bad. You gonna want to die in that moment. I'm not letting up.
Damn, she sucked it so good. He shit on himself. That's crazy.
You're too. Hey man.
Hey, you suck that thing so good. You make me shit on myself. Come immediately.
I don't
come
think
talk
that's
to me.
Happened.
Come talk to me.
That's first of all. Do y'all see what we have to deal with?
What are you talking about? So I'm saying a motherfucker suck me so good, it'd be like a little poo come out. Hey.
No.
I'm saying
now,
you know what you was doing.
Farted before, and I was like,
yeah, because he was relaxed. That's what happened. They say that's what happens when you relax.
Farting is one thing.
Your muscles not tensed up, and you just.
But take that. Is another.
Nah, that's a demon.
There's no way I'm letting you live that
is
down as a fully grown man. I'm not.
Beelzebub. Come holler at me.
I'm always gonna hit below the belt when we get into an argument. That's why your grown ass shitted on yourself. I'm never gonna be the mature one when it comes to. I'm gonna always bring that up.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And y'all like to do that shit in public too. Like, oh, you want to show off, nigga? That's why. That's why you shit yourself.
I wouldn't do that because see, I got too much pride, and I'm not gonna embarrass myself like that. But in a one-on-one private conversation, oh yeah, baby, yeah. I'm hitting below you every time.
But nah, like you said, jump your ass up in that shower, wash everything, hop out, and you lock in that, hit that body with that coconut oil, whatever you use, lock in that moisture. Yeah, like on the flip side, women be like, your skin's so soft. So I know y'all niggas be rough skinned out here. Y'all motherfuckers be lizard skinned out here, bro. No moisture, no nothing. Just slapping, wash. You fucking get out the shower and just dry yourself off and immediate slap dry ass jergens on your shit, like knocking in no moisture,
sliding off your skin,
walking around looking like powder. Like, let's not. Come on, we gotta do better.
You but outside at the day parties, you wiping yourself off with your little sweat rag. Now you done wiped off a little bit of lotion that you got.
No, I was talking about this with my homie though. Like, you remember back in the day, looking ass. Like growing up, like the copious amounts of Vaseline your parents used to put on you, bro. Like,
my mama was never one of them parents. We was a baby.
Oh, you lucked the fuck up. I used to be
a baby oil gel. Because that for my mama, that was like the perfect consistency. Like Vaseline was too thick, baby oil was too watery, but the baby oil gel,
bruh.
And I don't even know what year that became introduced. So I think before that, I think my mama mixed lotion and Vaseline, but I don't ever remember her putting like just straight Vaseline on me. And I don't have no school pictures where my face was like shining bright like a diamond because she had all that goddamn Vaseline.
Bruh, it wasn't my mama that was bad with it. It was my dad, bruh. Like, he would, I would get out the tub or whatever, and he would slap that thick ass fucking petroleum fucking jelly all over me, bro. And fucking like, dog, just I'm gonna double it, I'm gonna triple it, like just grease the fuck up, shining like a fucking penny, bro. And it was so thick, like it was like your skin. And then had the nerve to go out and doing, summertime STL heat. Had the nerve to go out and be sweating with that thick ass coat of armor on, bro. Like,
yeah, like they was slugging y'all. Like, we do that now when we going to sleep. Nobody does that leaving the house.
Yeah. Terrible. But yeah, y'all niggas, but if you got ashy ankles, Randy moisturize them for you, tenderize them things for you.
Don't let him lie to y'all. I told y'all, James stay lying on me. Don't let him lie to y'all.
She got money. She got money, and she'll tenderize them ankles.
I ain't got no money for them.
her housemaid would tenderize them ankles for you, get you right.
What maid?
The maid that you got at that villa.
Did you see? That's how y'all gotta know he's lying. Because 1 minute he gonna say it's a penthouse, and then the next minute he'll say villa.
It's a villa / penthouse.
It can't be both. No.
It's a pit villa.
No.
It's a pit villa. You feel me?
That's how y'all know James be lying on my topic.
Whatever. Anyway. So I felt like this was a good conversation to have with you because, like I said, I've seen your growth, and luckily I have friends that are around me that are like super, super intelligent. So there was a video last week that was making its rounds on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and it was of a very articulate man. You feel me? Talking about emotional intelligence. and he was saying that like he considers himself a very emotional, intelligent man, and that seems to be, you know, what women ask for. You know, numero uno. I want a man that's emotionally in tune and emotionally intelligent and locked in with me when it comes to that. However, he brought up a very good point. Women will ask for an emotionally intelligent man up until that emotional intelligence doesn't fit what they deem or they need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when all the problems surface up. Hell,
Yeah.
it even goes out to, you know, the craze with women calling dudes sassy because he like, nah, I'm not tolerating this or I'm not tolerating that. Boundaries, people.
Mm-hmm.
There are women that are upset out here about your emotional intelligence and the fact that you have boundaries and they ain't gonna tolerate no shit. So,
Yep.
as you know, like I said, a fairly intelligent and always evolving, emotional, intelligent woman, what did you think about the conversations that were going on around that video and just some of the, I don't even want to call them hot takes or anything like that, but just like, I guess the dialogue that was going on around that video?
It was really annoying me. So when I saw that clip, I reposted it because I was like I agree. I agree mainly because I've been that woman before. I have been that woman and be like, why don't you talk to me about your emotions? Why don't you understand when I'm XYZ? Like, why are you not paying attention to how I'm feeling XYZ? And there was a man who, not because of me, but because of his own growth, and got to a point where he did start verbalizing, how he was feeling XYZ. And in the beginning, it was well, I don't like your delivery, or that don't have nothing to do with what I said. Just continue to make it about me. We see so many women, you know, adding to, the patriarchy. Just, stop telling the little boys not to cry, or but to answer your question, the takes, I didn't like them because two things can be true at the same time. So I saw a lot of comments saying that well, most men who say that they are emotionally intelligent is only, I don't even, you know what? Let me not even go down that line because I don't remember what the shit said. But I will say that there were some comments. That's how bullshit that one was. But I will say that I think that some of the comments were valid. But my thing is, just because your statement can be valid does not invalidate what this man said. And the way they attacked that man, this is exactly why men don't say shit. Like, what are y'all doing? I don't think that there was anything, and people, I know it's gonna be people listening who probably were on the other side of that, who thought that what he was saying was complete bullshit. But I want us, and when I say us, I mean Black men and Black women, to stop pointing fingers at each other. We do it too much as a whole. Like, I feel like both sides have to fight against so much. I don't care about who thinks who got to fight more. I don't give a fuck about that. I feel like both sides have to fight against so much out in this fucking world. And I'm so sick and tired of every time. I understand, like, a lot of people are like, Black men need to come up off podcasts. And there are a lot of Black men who need to come up off podcasts. There are a lot of Black women who need to come up off podcasts. There are a lot of people in general who need to come up out of the podcast world. So I understand, like, some people go into these podcast clips and they don't even, like, because they're annoyed with it altogether. They're like, keep sis man off the mic. So they're going in already with, annoyed. But I saw so much negativity around that, and I'm like, are y'all really that bothered by what that man said? And I could not understand why. Like, I was really, really confused. Like I said, I didn't expect everybody to agree with him, and that's okay. Everybody is not always going to agree with everything you say, but the think pieces and the reshare clips with the dissertations, and I'm like, are y'all for real right now? Because he made a very valid point from his experience. That's the crazy thing. How the fuck do you come in and tell somebody what they haven't experienced? Then it was well, you shouldn't be picking those type of women. All right, man. Like, black women, don't do that. 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 Because how many times have we been on a side and been like, well, this person presented XYZ and then they were something else. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't we get tired of men telling us choose better. So don't turn around and do that. Don't do that. That man spoke about what his experience was, and y'all like really tried to eat him up. And I just could not understand it because I feel like he did. He made a very valid point. And I know it to be true again because I fucking have done that in the past. Not that person anymore. Thank God I've grown. But I was very emotionally immature at one point. Very much. And that's also another reason why I be trying to stay off of social media, because a lot of shit annoys me these days, like stuff like that.
Like, yeah. I've been over the whole like bickering back and forth between men and women type shit or whatever. Like, I'm all for calling out stupidity when somebody sounds stupid like that. That makes no sense. I'm all for shaming motherfuckers. Bring that shit back. Motherfuckers be ratioing people on Twitter that be saying stupid shit. Like, I'm all for that in terms of like, yeah, bro, you sound dumb. And you know, most of it comes from like people who, it's a lot of hypotheticals for sure. Yeah. And like you said, people who are trying to tell you what you experience. Like, nigga, I know what I've dealt with in my life before. I've dealt with this XYZ. I'm speaking from my perspective. It may not apply to you. You may never encounter it. Kudos for you. You never have. But like, as somebody who, I also posted the video as well and shared it, I have definitely specifically as I've gotten older, you know, I've been going to therapy since 2019. So a lot of unlearning shit, a lot of the way I used to cope with things no longer working in my 30s. Now we address shit. All right. No matter how uncomfortable it may be, we address it or whatever. And I've gotten really, really comfortable with telling in regards to women in dating and stuff like that, exactly where I'm at. Like, okay, this is where I'm at with it. If I don't like something, I'm very upfront with that, not in a disrespectful way, but like, hey, like, you know, I didn't really rock with that, and here's why. Now, that gives whoever I'm dealing with the choice to be like, you know what, I respect that, or you know what, I don't. That's just me type shit or whatever. And if you're just that's just me type shit, I'm gonna peep that immediately, and like, and distance myself accordingly, because it goes back to exactly because it goes back to like telling a person how you want to be treated. Like, I'm just not gonna let anything fly. Like, we can have a good ass time, we can have a situationship, we can, you know, whatever you want to call it, friends with benefits, we can just be cool, we can kick it, whatever, blase. At every level though, like, this is what I fuck with, and this is what I don't fuck with. At every fucking level, it doesn't matter what. So it was super interesting to see the reaction, because I've had circumstances with women where I may have like stood the line on something, or like, nah, this a boundary for me or whatever, and like a temper tantrum would occur. Not on some like, I don't want to do this with you because I feel like you getting over type shit. But like, no, I don't really fuck with that. Temper tantrum would happen, or like address something that I didn't like, and instead of actively talking about it, you just ghost me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again,
Which
speaking
is a
back to
sign of emotional immaturity.
speaking back to his point, like you don't, and like I said on I posted it on Instagram. I'm like, don't be asking, praying, whatever, asking the universe, praying to God, whoever, to give you something that you're gonna fumble.
Yeah.
That you
Be ready for
100
whatever it is you're praying for, asking
right.
for, putting out into
Make
that. Be
make
ready for
sure
what you
you
ask for.
have make sure you had a capacity to deal with what you asking for. If you don't want nothing serious, cool or whatever. But don't get in your chest when you don't want something serious and the other person you dealing with is like, all right, cool. And they rock it with other people and shit, and then you get in your chest about it. Well, you didn't want nothing serious. What are you
Yeah.
upset about? It's emotional intelligence or whatever.
Mean what you
Motherfuckers,
say what you mean.
motherfuckers can't read your mind. So instead of speaking up and saying what it is that's bothering you or advocating for yourself, you eat that shit. And then when a person continues to move how they moving, you want to blow up and stuff like that. Like, no, learn how to like communicate. Emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just one thing. It's not just in relationships, people. It's with family. It's with friends. Like, it's and I think that's where people run into the issue where they're just applying it to romantic things. Like, no, this is just how you deal with people, bro. Like people in general.
I just saw something. I think it was like maybe a few days ago, and it was saying that the reason a lot of friendships, not all, but a lot of friendships have lasted as long as they have is because everybody allows everybody to sit in their shit. Like nobody ever talks about anything. And I was like, yeah, because I've definitely been there before too. Like we never talked about, I don't like when you do this. Or, I don't like how that made me feel. It was like you keep brushing, issues under the rug. But then that's when you end up, finding out, oh, well, this friend, they've been talking about you to other people or this, that, or whatever. And then the first issue that comes up, is the end of a friendship because y'all ain't never talked about shit before. You just been just letting each other wallow in your shit, I guess. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's real.
Interesting. I mean, because the first interaction ever that you have with people is typically your parents. And, you kind of model that. Then you go on to have friends early on and things like that. Especially, like you said, especially if you've been with the same friend group for a long period of time or whatever. Like, y'all should be able to you should be able to call your friend out on bullshit. You
In
should
some
be able to
cases
be
you
like,
can. Yeah.
yeah, you should be able to be like, my nigga, like, why are you doing that? Or why are you doing this? Or why are you moving like that? And it should be, I get uncomfortable if y'all, like you said, unless y'all are comfortable sitting in your shit. And if you're just comfortable sitting in your shit, eventually you get used to the smell. You feel me? So,
yep. I've experienced both because, again, like you said, like y'all been around each other. Y'all shit at this point, like you feel me? Like, okay, bitch, I don't like how you made me feel. All right, bitch, I won't do it no more. All right, bet. Like, let's where we going to happy hour at? But then you also have those friendships where it's like, what? You got boundaries now? Yeah, I do.
yeah,
And you don't get to keep stepping over them.
yeah. And if
But
they
that
hate
also
that you
requires them to be emotionally intelligent.
right, and if they hate the fact that you're like, oh, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, then people make it easy to X themselves out every day.
Absolutely.
Like,
You changing. I'm sorry that you're not. What do you mean?
like they make it easy. Like, and it's crazy. Like literally the law of attraction. You set out to do something or whatever. shit moves out your way for you to accomplish it. Now you may go through some bullshit to get there. It ain't all necessarily rainbows and everything sweet and shit like that. But for the most part, when you're like, nah, this is what I'm on, shit will move out your way. And that includes like people too.
Oh, 100%. Especially, when when something isn't any good for you. So I just use myself as an example, not to get too deep in it, but so during this whole healing process and journey since I started, I've lost some people. Now there are some that my door is still open to, and there is room for reconciliation. And then there are some, don't fucking look at me if you see me passing. Like that's where we at. But it's also knowing those relationships and knowing those people. And it could be like, hey, maybe we were both going through something at this point in time, and we really just, sometimes when people are going through things simultaneously, it's hard for them to be there for each other. Like I know in a perfect world, it's like, I want to be present for this person because I love them. But sometimes when you're going through your own shit, it is hard. Like that's fucking reality. But like I said, on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I'm just not gonna deal with you and your shit. So like I said, some doors are open for reconciliation, and some people you don't ever tell nobody you know me because you don't.
That's real.
If I see you and I don't speak, y'all know the rest. Like that's where we at with it.
As she rolls up the window to her Rolls Royce.
Come on now. Don't do that.
Talk yo shit. Yeah. She said, you see me on speak, roll up the window. Roll up the window, driver.
I can't stand you.
Yeah, man. But before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to discuss outside of the multitude of stock investments that you are hitting on? And
oh Lord Jesus. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm while you giving me flowers, I want to give you flowers because in the same sense, like you really have been doing the work. And I remember you actually told me like sometime last year you was like you wanted to be more present in your friendships. And I do feel like, well, I can't speak for nobody else, but I do feel like you're present with me. I'm not one of those friends that I need people to pick up the phone every day because it's actually too much for me. But I don't, me moving away definitely kind of, I guess, let me know who could handle that, I guess, to keep it cute. A lot of people don't do well with distance between their relationships. But I don't feel like you've done that. So I'm appreciative of you and your friendship, but I'm also proud of you for definitely for advocating for yourself. You had a little situation. I thought I was gonna have to hop on a plane and run down on somebody. But I'm proud of you for advocating for yourself and just shooting for the stars. I told you, I just need you to make sure that when you courtside, I'm courtside. Okay? All right.
Wow.
Because
she said that.
You were trying to tell these people that I be out here balling, and I'm just trying to figure out like
with the PJ, like, hey, we know you was at the Laker game a couple nights ago sitting courtside. I seen
this man has a personal jeweler.
I don't. Stop lying, man.
He has
Stop lying. I don't.
Jeweler. I don't. Like y'all don't see every time this man step out on the scene, he got a nice little blinging piece of ice. Same line. He be having the custom made jackets and shoes. Listen, I don't care about your deep breaths. But anyway, no, I am very proud of you. I am happy for your success with Henny Nights. And I'm just looking forward to, seeing what else you got up your sleeve because I enjoy celebrating my friends. So
For sure, for
like
sure.
I'm ready to do it up. Don't know exactly when, but I'm definitely gonna pull up in the city at some point this year so we can all gather and do hood rat shit and just celebrate life.
Facts, facts, facts. Big hood rat shit. I'm always down. Shit, the
Always.
memories of shit. I was just in the memories of us being in Dallas last year just started popping up. So like how we
I
was outside
know.
for that.
Because
How we was at
crazy thing, I was deep this time last year. I was deep, deep, deep in my feelings because I had finally cut off a situation that had been dragging on for well over like just two. I know tell them people that how long, but it had been going on for entirely too fucking long. And I
Mhm.
remember being like deep in my feelings, and I got outside with y'all, and
Yeah,
that
we
popped
was
up in my
active.
memories, and I
We
was
was active.
like,
We was
niggas
active
was
at the
at the
booty
strip
club.
club eating chicken
Yeah,
wings.
yeah, we was active at the strip club. Motherfuckers buying, fuck it, let's just get a table and strippers just walking up to the
I might have
table.
got me a little booty dance. I do
I was
need a
trying to
little.
find the fucking clip of that. I don't think I ever, I don't think I ever like actually posted it though.
I do
So
need a
I couldn't
little,
find
but
it. Yeah, but no,
it was
that shit
fun.
was lit. That shit was lit. It was a good ass time for sure, bro. So
So yeah,
definitely gonna have to run
we're
that
gonna have
shit
to go
back.
fuck somebody else city up in a minute.
Facts, facts.
Like I don't know. We're gonna have to meet up somewhere, but yeah, man, I'm good. Like life is not always, sunshine and butterflies, but overall, I went through, that little period after my dad passed and I was kind of like super quiet, but overall
No.
I'm good. I'm putting in the work. I am, you know, blessings are coming in. I'm putting out, the desires of my heart and I'm trusting that they are mine, and they'll come exactly when the time is right. And until then, I just continue to do what I'm supposed to do for me. Definitely working on getting some more bags, some bigger bags. Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
everything is up.
say less. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that, of course. Before you jump off, go ahead and well, I mean, you want people to follow you? I had to think about
I
what I was
mean,
gonna say.
yeah, I mean, because I have the pie. People not really gonna get too much of my personal life from me. My personal Instagram is pretty private, and it's gonna stay that way. But for the pod, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BnFreePod. That's the letter B, the letter N, free pod. And we also have a Patreon show, and
Yeah,
that's too many damn letters. I'm gonna just let James put it in the show notes. But we're
yeah,
definitely gonna have to have you on. I don't think we actually haven't had any fellas on yet. So
yeah, yeah.
that'll be we get real grown. It's behind the paywall. We can get to say what we want. Um yeah, so that'll be fun. I'll let my co-host know, and we might pull another one in there. So you have somebody on your side because we might have to do like a battle of the sexes or something.
Oh, facts. That's not that's light work. That's light work. That's light work. You already know. I keep the gang behind me. Let's go. Let's jump on here. So yeah, I'm always down for that or whatever. We gonna be behind the paywall. Oh shit.
Yeah. We definitely have to get behind the paywall.
oh, I'm fucking weak. But yeah, so I'll definitely put all that in the show notes for y'all to check out the podcast. Both of the podcasts, if you're looking for, to kind of get to know her, with being free, and then also, but the butt naked nasty shit with the Patreon. So I'll have that on all in the show notes. So yeah, appreciate you coming on.
For sure,
Glad
for
to hear
sure,
you
for
doing
sure.
well. And then until next time, we'll holler at y'all later. Peace.